hit the subscribe button, the red button, underneath this video over to the right, and that'll sign you up on my YouTube channel. And then you can hit the small bell icon, so a little bell will go off and tell you each time I've started to broadcast a new one. I hope you enjoy it. The Democratic field is shaking up. In the last month, Biden has lost 9 points. He still has 32% of the vote, according to the Real Clear Politics average, but he's lost a quarter of his support in the last month, and there haven't been debates or negative ads or anything. He's just done that all by himself. And Sanders has dropped 3 points. He's at 15. So at the moment you have Biden at 32, Sanders at 16. And the moving force is Elizabeth Warren. She has risen from 8 to 11 in the overall Real Clear Politics poll average. But there are some polls, at least 2, in the last week that show her in second place, moving ahead of Bernie Sanders. What she has at least done is to create a third place in the Democratic primary. There didn't used to be one. There was Biden, there was Sanders, and then there was everybody else. Now she has emerged as in third place, and the others are still everybody else. The rest of the field is Buttigieg at 8, Harris at 7, and Beto O'Rourke at 4. One of the interesting things here is how Buttigieg has completely moved aside Beto O'Rourke, past him, and really moved into the clear ahead of him. He's won the Charisma Award. And because of his appeal to gays and to millennials, he's been able to establish a clear basis and a clear track in the Democratic primary. Once you lose your charisma, you're finished. You really can't regain it. It's like a movie star getting younger. It doesn't happen. And I think Beto is probably on his way out of this race. The reason Harris hasn't moved up, search me. But she's run the most inept campaign of all. She has no unique selling proposition, and she's just sitting back there and waiting for California to vote, and that's her 3-run home run. But the interesting thing is Warren's rise. It's by articulating a very detailed, very specific, and very wrong agenda of change for this country. You walk into a store and you want to buy a watch, and they tell you how great the watch is and how it's waterproof and it's digital and it's this and it's that, but they don't tell you how much it costs. And Warren's price tag is probably now up in the high double-figure trillions from her various programs. But she keeps piling them on in great detail, great specificity, as if they're wonderfully thought through. The fact is they are, except there is no thinking about the revenue. She's saying that they're going to finance it with a 2% wealth tax in the United States, which means you make your money, you pay your income taxes, maybe you buy a home, you pay your property taxes, and then on top of all of that, you pay 2% of the net value of everything every year. So over 10 years, you paid 20% or more, compounded, more like a quarter of the net value of your assets. And the problem with that is that a lot of countries have had it and have repealed it, notably Sweden, because they couldn't enforce it. They found people were moving their money all around. They couldn't prove who had what, and it proved to be a tax that's almost uncollectible. And it certainly discourages people from doing well and accumulating wealth. So probably her tax isn't a tax plan, it's merely a plan to add to the deficit. But it does show how hungry people are for the next generation of specifics. And that's a hunger that Trump needs to answer with his campaign and his vision of the future. Because Elizabeth Warren has done a fantastic job of putting the rocky launch of her candidacy behind her. She's no longer Pocahontas. And now she's into real substantive change in this country. I think what Trump should say is very simply that I hope that as I achieve a good economy and as I increase revenue, I can begin to accomplish some of the goals that Elizabeth Warren and I share in common. But until the money's there, who can do it? Thanks for watching.